We're so happy to have you guys on with us today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, glad you. I love the artwork behind you.
Yeah, really
Oh, thank
cool.
you so much. Yes, we got Autumn did these, and then Joe Chavez here.
Oh,
And
wow.
as you know, good to have a little bit of color in your life, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like your background. Well, we're so happy to have the show here because we've loved all the uh, Charlie Brown and Peanuts and all the great things for our whole lives, and I mean, as you have. And so to be able to continue this and keep this legacy going just must be just the greatest honor, especially when you get the feedback from the kids, right?
But yeah, it's a great honor. It's a great responsibility, and it's also a lot of fun. Now I can appreciate what my dad went through when he gets to play with all these characters all day long. It's an enjoyable process, but it's also a lot of work, as Raymond knows. This one took us a year and a half to make, and it's a story we really wanted to tell.
hmm And Raymond, why was this one so important for you?
I think this one was really important, partly because right now we're going through some crazy times, especially in this country. A lot of arguing, taking sides, and in this special, we show like what kids know, which is if you guys have the same color shoes or you like the same sports, you can be friends. Franklin, at the beginning, he's trying too hard. He's not really being who he really is. And he runs into Charlie Brown. And Charlie Brown is a guy that, for better or for worse, he's authentically himself. And he's always going to be honest with you with who he is. And I think being around that, Franklin sees he can let his guard down and be himself too. And by doing that, they're connecting. They're enjoying what they have in common and also kind of being enriched by what's different about each of them. And I think that's a really good lesson for people to learn.
Oh, absolutely. Well, both of you have been doing such great work for years now, and people look up at the screen and they go, "That's what I want to do." And so, what kind of advice would each of you give to somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps and tell great stories?
Well, that's a Raymond question. Go ahead, Raymond.
Okay. I worked with this really great team in Vancouver named Wild Brain Studios, full of fantastic artists, and all of them had the same story. They love what they do. They've always wanted to do this, and so they just worked at it. When you do what you love, it's not easy. It is hard, but you just keep pushing forward. You find other people that love to do it too, and you kind of grow together. Um, you'll find your tribe basically if you try to follow your heart. So I don't know. I think that's kind of some general advice I'd give.
Yeah, absolutely. And Craig, would you say the same thing?
Well, I would say the cool thing about this, not only this movie, but the fact that Franklin's last name is Armstrong, and
hmm
within that we created what was called the Armstrong Project through Peanuts Worldwide, and it basically gives Black students at historically Black colleges, Howard and Hampton universities, scholarships so they can pursue their career, and whether it be animation or art, whatever. And that's kind of a side benefit of the Franklin show coming out, is it does put a highlight on that, because one of the co-writers was Rob Armstrong, the person who my dad reached out to borrow his last name for Franklin in a special he did years ago. So that whole thing, the way it all came together was really nice. And then to have Franklin special come out during Black History Month is even better, so I think the timing couldn't be better. The show is very relevant. I think it's very relatable, and it was definitely one of our favorite ones to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, really quickly, my co-host Drew Pearson, you might be familiar with, caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. So proud of him. He wanted me to make sure that I asked you guys your Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for each of you?
Okay, I know mine. Mine was I was in school, art school, and my family was having some financial troubles, and I had this opportunity to intern on The Simpsons as an artist. And normally I would have been terrified to do it, but I was like, I got to help my family, so all the fear went away, and I just jumped into it. So that was my big Hail Mary that got me into my career.
Yeah.
I'll say my Hail Mary moment was before I started doing all these specials and writing these things. I was a corporate pilot. So I flew jets, and I had an old World War II biplane. And the Hail Mary moment was when I took a friend for a ride and we went vertical. And right as we went vertical, the engine died. And we're in like a
Wow.
near-death moment, but somehow I end up weaving the thing down and landed in a field somewhere. And it's a long story, but we survived, and that's as Hail Mary as you can get, I think.
I'd say.
That's great. Well, to end things, then, what is it that you hope that the kids will get out of this, that they'll take away, and that they'll really, really enjoy from this?
Well, I think when you look back on it, I think every kid can relate to the challenge that they have to face, whether it be moving to a new neighborhood or moving to a new city or moving to a new apartment complex, and somehow they got to find a way to blend in. And most kids got to go through that time and time again, as does Franklin. So I think children will really relate to Franklin's struggle and what he's forced to go through, and the challenge he has to deal with on his own. And not only that, but he's a Black character going into a white neighborhood, and somehow he finds a way to do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much for being with us. We really, really appreciate it. I really enjoyed the special. Can't wait for everyone to see it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay. Bye-bye.